Time now to open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's TWIB notes from around the majors.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to another week at Sidetracks Board Game Club in Ellwood City. We got so much stuff going on right now. Let me just do a quick rundown of the schedule for the week first, and then we'll get into some of the upcoming things that I'm really excited about. We have our after-school clubs this week on Tuesday and Wednesday from 2:45 until 5 p.m. On Thursday night, we have our game and sip night. You can come in for $5 and play from 6 to 9. Everybody's welcome. It's just open gaming time. We started something new last week with a Friday feature presentation. We're taking a page out of the movies here. And we thought, you know, sometimes people come in and they have a little bit of a deer in the headlights look when they see 400 games in one place. And I feel like sometimes people are a little apprehensive or just don't know where to start. So on Fridays, we have started to feature one, or in this week, it's actually going to be 2 different games. So that way people can see, you know, here's a cool game maybe you've never heard about, and take a look at it, maybe watch a little video on YouTube and see if it looks like something you're interested in. If it is, you go to our Facebook page and respond to the event. This week we're having a double feature because it's Earth Day. We're going to be featuring 2 nature-based or nature-themed games. One is Wingspan, which is all about birds, and the other is Mariposas, which is all about butterflies. So if you go to the event page on our Facebook site and you respond with the keyword birds, you can get in on the Wingspan game. And if you respond with the word butterflies, you can get in on the Mariposas game. So check those games out. If it looks like something you'd be interested in, come on down. We'd love to teach it to you. On Saturday morning, we typically have been opening at 10 a.m. for open gaming, but this Saturday is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be setting up a booth at the Earth Day Festival in Ewing Park, and we're going to be featuring nature-themed board games. We'll also be there to talk a little bit about the board game industry and how the games are and game publishers are trying to become more environmentally conscious in the way they package their games and things like that. So come check us out at Earth Day. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we'll be back at the shop for open gaming from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, all the way from Sesame Street, Cookie Monster.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
So for this week's 7th inning stretch, I want to talk about one of my other favorite mechanisms in board games, and that's called engine building. There are a couple of really great games that I've learned over the last few years that involve what's called engine building that I really love. A couple of my favorites, one is Wingspan, and another is called Council of 4. There's another game as well called Furnace that I really love. And what engine building does, and each one does it a little bit differently. In engine building, you're essentially building a series of events that are going to trigger other events. So in Wingspan, what you do is you're putting bird cards out in your aviary, so in front of you on your board. And each turn, depending on what action you take, you're going to trigger each bird. And each one of those birds is going to do some type of action or activity. And so the more birds that I put out in my aviary, the more actions I'm going to trigger. And as the game goes on, this engine that you're building to give you more resources and get you points and do special things is going to get better and better and better. In Council of 4, the way it works, and it's different because it's map based. You're putting merchants out in different cities around the board, and they're going to be selling goods in these cities. But each time you build in your network, so it's a spatial thing, and you connect to other cities with your merchants in it, it's going to trigger sales in those different places. And so there's a spatial aspect to the engine building in Council 4, which is pretty unique and different. In Furnace, it's an industrial revolution game, and you are building different factories, and then you're going to run your factories, and some of them may produce coal and others may produce steel or oil. And then you eventually you want to convert all that into cash because you're trying to be the player that makes the most money. but you're going to acquire these different factories. You're going to put them in different sequences to build the most efficient engine that you can to produce these resources and generate money. And so these games are really fun because they're a little bit puzzly. In a lot of these games, there's not a lot of direct confrontation. So we talked previously about Euro games versus Ameritrash games. These tend to be on the Euro end because you're building your engine and I'm building my engine, and we may be competing over some of the same places on the board if it's a spatial engine, or we may be competing for the same types of birds or the same factories in Furnace. But for the most part, you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing. So there's enough player interaction to make it interesting, and I can't completely ignore what you're doing, but there's not a lot of head-to-head where we're beating up on each other. And for me, those are exactly the type of games. Those are some of my favorite games because there's good player interaction, it's thinky, but it's not super heavy, there's not a ton of rules to learn, and so it's just fun.
Now, let's talk about some of the cool stuff that we got in the works. First of all, next week, we're going to be having our monthly game tournament, which is Seven Wonders. Been getting a lot of action with Seven Wonders at the shop, people coming in, learning the game, and I think it's going to be a big hit. So you still have time to get some practice in and to learn how to play Seven Wonders for the tournament. We're also working on finalizing our summer schedule. So if you're wondering, what's up with Sidetracks over the summer, check out the calendar page of our website. It's www.sidetracksbgc for boardgameclub.com, and then check out the calendar page. We've recently updated that with a bunch of events and activities over the summer. One of the things that we're currently putting the finishing touches on are our summer camps. We're going to have some summer day camps for kids in July. There'll be 3 different weeks in July, and each week we'll have sort of a different theme or a different feature. So keep an eye out for that. If you're looking for something for your kids to do over the summer, get them out from behind their video game screens and their iPads and things, this would be a great opportunity to get them out and interacting with some other kids. So keep an eye out for that. We're also working on at least the start of an idea for a Wednesday night Game Masters Club that we're calling it during the summer. And this would be for people who are interested in diving into something a little bit deeper. There are a lot of games out there called legacy games or campaign games where you have to have a dedicated group of people who are willing to get together on a regular basis because each game sort of ties into the next game. It's almost, if anybody's ever played Dungeons and Dragons or another role-playing game, it's almost like playing a role-playing game where you have a group that goes from game to game and you do different things together. Well, this would be similar, but we'd have a couple different groups that would be dedicated or interested in finding out and diving into one particular game. So right now we're working on a group to get together to play the game Charterstone. And then we're also exploring the possibility of having 1 or 2 other legacy games going on during the summer. So this would be an opportunity for more hardcore gamers, or if you're interested in diving into something new and sort of really trying something out, this would be a great way to do it. You get to play with the same people every week, so make some new friends. So keep an eye out for that as well. One of the things that I'm getting most excited about right now, Saturday, June 1st, is International Tabletop Day. And I'm currently in the works to plan a 24-hour gaming marathon. So we would start on Friday night, May 31st at midnight, and play games until Saturday at midnight on June 1st. So that's another one that is currently in the works. You might want to pencil that in on your calendar. If you're interested in a really cool event and you'd be interested in some type of gaming marathon, this is your chance. Now, you wouldn't necessarily have to play the 24 hours. There will be a few crazy people that might want to do that. But even if you just want to get in on part of it, there'll be some really cool activities throughout the day, and hopefully we'll have some food and different things. So that's another thing that's in the works. We'll also be getting our summer memberships out there for sale pretty soon. So the summer season is going to be a little bit longer than our other seasons. It'll go from Memorial Day all the way to Labor Day. So a summer membership would get you access to one of our clubs over the summer and also get you free gaming during any of our open gaming times over the summer. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us for that as well. We'll be pushing for those here pretty soon. The current memberships, our spring memberships, still go until Memorial Day. So we got lots of stuff in the works right now. Getting really excited about our summer program. And if you have any questions or any of that interests you, stop down to the shop. I'd be happy to give you some more details. Keep an eye here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so yet, like and subscribe to it. And that way you can be up to date on everything that's going on down at Sidetracks. So come on down and play some games. We'll see you around the table. See ya.